So just driving up to the lookout, the closest open road that I could go on, really. So it is lowered, it's got the chop springs, but it's not too hard to ride, and it's not really too low either. It's legal height, so I don't have to deal with any police complaining about that. I've only been pulled into a check station once with police, never been bothered by them apart from that, never been pulled over. Gets looks, pretty much just people admiring it, people having a chat at the traffic lights. It's pretty comfortable to drive, like, it's easy. My wife's driven it before, and she's driven a old Lancer of mine, and comparing the two, she said that this was easier to drive. She's not too used to driving manual, and she handled it fine. And that was on roads pretty similar to this. Like I said, it handles pretty well, sticks to the road. No body roll, which is good. Into third. Got a nice note to it as well. It is just a standard exhaust, but with the S13, the 2000 model S13 DE with the variable valves, gets a really nice note, especially when you hit around 4,000 RPM, and like that's not a problem for it either, because it's made to go all the way up to almost, well, yeah, over 7.5, almost to 750, but I don't really take it that high. The highest I really take it's probably the 5,000 when I don't know, you go through a tunnel or something, and it just sounds incredible with the valves opening up. Yeah, so it's all like the standard injectors as well. I was offered some turbo injectors, but I turned that one down because it doesn't need it, and you just end up having to deal with lower fuel economy and lots of fumes out the back and putting all exhaust smoke all over the back of your car, so didn't want anything to do with that. It's really just a weekend car. As you can see, I've only, oh, you might not be able to see actually because of the light with the camera, but I've only got about 1/4 of a tank of fuel, and that's purely just because that's all I need throughout the week. I don't even use any more than that. Occasionally we'll take it for a day trip, go for a few hours drive down to see my family in northern New South Wales, and it handles that fine. It does really well with that. Comfortable to drive on the highway, comfortable to drive on back roads as well. Deferred. So really, when changing into third, it's just selecting the right revs. There's the other guy who test drove it, who's having trouble with it. He was driving it pretty hard, but I don't have a problem purely just because I just cruise. I'd take it down to the shops or something like that. It's not... I'm not using it as a race car. It's just the open diff. So if you wanted to turn it into a track car, you'd probably need to get the limited slip. Probably pay a bit more attention so I don't stop at green lights. So right now I've got the windows up so you don't get as much of the wind noise going past the mic and the camera. And I'm like wearing long pants and long sleeves and it is a bit hot. It's a pretty hot day. Here's one part. When you've got speed bumps. You don't really want to go over them too quickly. But then again, it's not as slow as you'd have to go with coilovers either. If you're interested in putting in coilovers, you'll see what I mean. I've been in vehicles with coilovers before and rock hard suspension. Pretty uncomfortable. It does have aircon. But it needs to be regassed. The previous owner didn't regas it and I haven't bothered again just because it's a weekend car. I don't know. If you'd regas it, you'd probably want to that's the valves there opening up. If you regas the aircon, you'd probably want to put in a new compressor or something like that to just help it along, because that'll be a lot better aircon than the standard air compressor. In the back, when you've got 4 people in there, it's not uncomfortable. But in saying that, anyone over probably 6 foot and they won't have too much legroom, but it's more than you'd expect. It's got the just another thing that I remembered, it's got central locking, so when you're locking it, just really just turn the key in the driver's door and it'll unlock. It doesn't have remote locking. Turn the key in the driver's door and it'll unlock the passenger's door as well. When you're getting out, same thing, locking, but if you want you can also just push the lock and it will do the same thing. You don't need to lift the handle to close it, so Don't lock your keys in it. Haven't done it yet. Did it a few times with my old car. But yeah, this one's good. The sunroof itself does work. Except there's a leaking seal, so the previous owner just sealed it up so that they didn't have any water coming in, any rust starting. But all mechanically it's good. So if you're interested in getting a new seal for that, but if not, you can just wind it back, slide open the cover and enjoy the sun. It's got the head unit in it is mechless, if you can see that. You can plug in your iPod, listen to the radio, but no CDs with this one. It's pretty easy to use. You can just select the song on your iPod and then plug it in. If you want to make it easier for the first time you plug it in, but after that it's just push the central button and rotate through the options, so it's pretty easy. It's got the projector headlights. All the lights work properly. So rotate the stalk to go from driving lights to headlights, push it forwards for high beam, and then down near your knee is the fog lights. Now the previous owner said he had been pulled over when his knee turned on the fog lights and he didn't realise. And they told him that you're not allowed to drive with fog lights during the day. But that's it, so you just got to be careful that you don't accidentally turn that on. Got the demister there for the rear window. Works fine. Got the ashtray in here. I think one of the things that this car could use is a cup holder, because that's really a lot more convenient. Now I'll just back down to my normal car spot so that I can give you a walk around in the light. You know what, I might use the neighbour's one because they've got better light. That's better. Alright, I'll give you a bit of a walk around. So this is the 1991 Nissan Silvia S13 with the 2000 S15 SR20DE. Now, one of the reasons I didn't go turbo when I put that engine in was because you need to mod plate it, and that brings on all sorts of problems. So we've got the black offset steely wheels. I'm not sure what brand they are. I've been trying to find it out for a while. Pretty good, pretty solid. So we've got 8-inch rims on the front and 10-inch on the rear. 205 stretched onto that, and 225s on the rear. So it's not too much stretch. As you can see, the rim lip is still inside the tyre wall, and the tyres are still inside the flares, which make it all legal. It's got the standard Silvia front grille, the clear indicators there, bolt-on flares. I've had a lot of people ask, can you take them off? The bolts do go through the guards, so if you're going to take it off, there will be holes. Not that big. There's my finger. Just the size of the bolt, not the size of the bolt head, obviously. Now, I'll show you the sunroof. As you can see, it's sealed up there. Just got silicone there, sealing that up. So bolt-on flares. I'll try and give you a bit more of a view from the back of the wheel so you can see what the stretch is like. Now there is a little bit of camber on the rear. It seems to be fine, hasn't got too much so it doesn't wear unevenly really. It's got the clear tail lights. The previous owner put on the S13 Silvia badge there. And this is the standard exhaust running through there. So no problems with that. Now the old boot had lots of the clear peeling, so I got a different boot as well. It's the CA wing. Changed over the lock. You can see sort of that the shape of the old lock is on there, but just a bit of a polish and that'll be fine. And this probably needs a bit of a polish as well, but the paint's all good there. The old rear wing was also a CA, but didn't have the centre support. This brake light works. Light all that up. Didn't have the centre support, so it was cracking, so that's another reason I changed that. And it had lots of holes from previous wings in it, so this one's a lot better. Now these wheel nuts are titanium race nuts. They're incredibly light, but don't torque them up too tight because you'll shred them, as I discovered a while ago. So I've got the interior of the car here. Second, third, fourth, fifth. Ashtray. Mirrors work all fine. I'm not exactly sure what this switch on the right does. Cigarette lighter. Little center console. I've just got like a couple of bolts left over from the conversion that weren't needed, like from the old coil packs. The new coil pack came. Glove box. It's a lockable glove box. It's not locked right now. As you can see, I haven't got too much in there. I've got another indicator bulb, which I changed when I first got it. Some of the bulb grease, so you put that in, say, sorry, there we go. You put that in the socket of, like, say, a corroded socket, and it will clean it all up. Yep. So I've got the all the vents work fine. You can see there. Pivot's fine. Closed, open. This is the fog lights here. You just got to be careful, but the car does have the alarm if you accidentally leave your lights on, which is handy. And just close the door so it doesn't buzz again. With the dash having the blue LEDs there, you can't actually adjust the brightness of it, but you can turn it off. So we've got these vents here as well to assist in circulating the air and cooling you down as the driver. We've got the hazards, the immobilizer indicator, which you can see is flashing because right now the immobilizer is activated. More of the vents which all work correctly. Just show you so that all works. So you've got your auto, circulate and AC, but AC does not do anything. Hot to cold, obviously. And we've just got the standard interior, apart from, I would say, the sunroof, which is sort of part of the interior. We've got map lights here, except as far as I know they do not work. I've never used them, never had a look into it, so I'm not sure exactly how you go about having a look at that. Got the rear view mirror there. We've got the standard speakers in the front. And in the rear, I'm not sure if these are standards, but they work pretty well. So most of the time I'll just have the audio faded to the rear, because that just seems to work. But I've got, I'll just turn off this LED so that you can see that it's LEDs for the interior lights and footwells. So you got your pedals there, footrest, floor mat, and this is the dial that fades the dash lights. With the immobilizer, the trick is it's not an obvious one. This here, you just push, and that's how you reset the immobilizer so that you're able to start the car. Now we've got the deep disc drift steering wheel. It's pretty comfy to use, pretty solid. I do have the original steering wheel, so if you need to put that back on, it's all good. So we've got the interior is all pretty clean. Rear seats does only seat 4, as you are probably aware, but again the interior is in A1 condition. I would say the worst part of the interior is, oh, I'm gonna shut the door on my leg. There we go. Is this here? Getting in and out, it's a little bit worn. There's a tiny hole just above my finger there, and that's it. Now the fuel cap release is pushed down. There you go, fuel doors open, and the boot is pull up. This is the bonnet release, so I'll just pop all these so I can show you around the outside of the car. So, fuel door, just slide it in there while you're fueling up so you don't forget to put it back in. Boot, switch up, use your key also, but I've already popped it. This is the boot. Got your antenna assembly in here, antenna there. Got easy access to all your tail lights there. I've got some fuses in there that were from my other car, but I figured I might as well put them in this car just for insurance if I ever blew a fuse. You got your top access to your fuel tank here, your fuel pump inside that, space saver, and jack, and wheel brace just here. So you can access the boot from the inside of the car by pulling the seat forwards. Just be careful of these here because it's actually quite sharp, and I cut my finger on it once. Didn't even realise. So yep, it's a boot. Just got a rag in there for when I check the oil. See if I can do this one-handed. Now, that is where you put the bonnet in. Lots of people try and put it in these holes, in this hole. It does not work, it makes it more difficult. So I've got the standard airbox. This part of the rewired loom for the DE. As you can see down there, you've got the O2 sensor, and down further is where the old sensor was, but that's not needed. You've got your power steering here. Now, as you can see, it's all pretty stock, apart from the S13 engine, obviously. So battery there, bracket all hooked up. There's a fair bit of room there, and here lots of people comment on the fact that there's a lot of space without the turbo and intercooler in there. Now we've got the import plate here. More information there. And the way that you can tell that it's the variable valve engine is the front of the engine here, which is quite hot at the moment because we just took it for a drive. So where it's got this bump in the engine at the front and the back of the engine slopes off, that's how you can tell it's the variable valve. So you can see down here as well that this is the air compressor pump, and this is all the air compressor hoses and everything like that. So along here into the car. I suppose if you were doing a track car and you want to save a bit of weight, you can just take that off. Now the overflow bottle does not have a cap, but it's never had any problems, and as you can see, like, it still functions, it's never overflowed, so that's just on there to keep anyone who looks under the bonnet happy. And the window washer access. So I've got the projector headlights, you can see the yellow of the fog lights there. Just a standard number plate mount. Now, just drop the bonnet.